How's it going? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Martin and today I'm going to share with you 5 books to read before you turn 25. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't read them after you're 25, but I think these are a couple of books that are or would be hugely beneficial to read before you sort of enter that, what would you say, second part of your life where you're sort of finished with schooling. So let's jump into it. So the first book that I would recommend you read is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Now this was a very interesting read. I think it's especially important because it reminds us that all of these extraordinary people are just regular people that worked really hard. And so that means that could also be you. It doesn't matter whether it's, Tiger Woods, some famous artist, or some genius like Richard Feynman. I mean, these are people that worked really hard, and it's not because they had some exceptional IQ that they made it to where they are. It's simply because they had a passion for what they were doing and they put in a lot of work. And it's important to remember that the same is the case for you. Oftentimes there are all these preconceived ideas that we have about what is possible that is holding us back. And what you sort of see alongside a bunch of other things in this book is that you can leave all that behind you, focus on what you need to focus on, putting in hard work, then you can achieve really remarkable things. The second book I would recommend is The Art of Listening by Erich Fromm. Now, Erich Fromm is a psychoanalyst, and in this book he tells you the importance of acquiring the skill of listening, and to be able to listen when you sort of go into that next phase of your life that I was alluding to earlier is an incredible asset and a skill to have. I mean, people love being listened to, and I mean truly listened to. And Fromm basically says that this is a skill that you can acquire by sort of following a couple of things. It's especially the last chapter of this book that sort of sets out a guide on how to do this, which has to do with being fully, or giving the person that you're talking to sort of full attention, putting everything outside of your mind. Hopefully you're not in sort of a state of anxiety or stress, because in that sense you're sort of not fully available to this person, in a sense, being able to fully take in what they're trying to tell you. And secondly is to have an empathic, what would you say, relationship to this person, and basically to have a loving, what would you say, outlook and mode of being toward this person that you're speaking to, and being able to put yourself in their shoes to fully understand what they're trying to tell you. Now, I think the art of listening is an incredible skill to have, and it will benefit all your relationships and your life in general. And so that's why I would recommend you read this book as well. And you also learn a few things about psychoanalysis, which you may or may not want to read more about at a later point in your life. Third on the list, we have this monster. It's a massive book. It's over 1,000 pages, but it's a fantastic book. It's the best book that I've ever read. It's my favorite. It's The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's a Russian author. And the reason why I think you have to read this book is because at least in my life, it opened a sort of understanding and empathy towards religion, which I had never had before. And I think I had a lot of childish notions about what religion was until I had read this book, and it sort of made me think more seriously about it and cast some of those preconditions aside, which I think is a very important thing, particularly in the West today, where we live in a very secular society, and that there is real benefit and wisdom in looking back at some of these traditions that I think a lot of people today have lost a connection with. This is just one reason why this is a wonderful book to read. It also dives into atheism, religion, philosophy, friendship, narcissism. There's so many things But I think this first thing that I mentioned is the primary reason why I'd recommend reading this to younger people. The fourth book is The Divine Embrace, and it's written by me, so it's a bit of a shameless plug, but I think this is an incredibly rich book to read if you're in that phase of your life, because it is a fictional story that serves as a stark or strong reminder that you should try and follow your intuition and heart in life, no matter where it sort of leads you, and that there will be a lot of cultural influences that are not necessarily aligned with what you truly want in your life. And moreover, it's important to remember that this life truly is an adventure and that it is a real mystery that you are alive. And so you should try and be thankful for that, and to sort of, what would you say, really take a hold of this opportunity that you have been given and try and live it to its fullest. So that would be a reason why I would recommend reading this book. And lastly, Hero with a Thousand Faces by Joseph Campbell. He's this famous American mythologist, and in this non-fiction book he sort of recounts this heroic motif that we see cross-culturally, which has to do with the hero. In psychological terms, you could make or see a parallel between the hero and the ego, which is something that we all have, and the importance of this ego, ourselves, to go on this grand adventure. And especially when you're in that early part of your life, you will be called to different adventures in life, and then it's important to grab those adventures and to truly sort of follow them, and see where it leads you. I think that's the core thing that this book is trying to convey, that this is a cultural idea that has been developed and is immensely important. It's a part of the human condition, and it's something that you should play out in your own life. And that's why this is a great book to read if you are in your 20s or whatever it may be, even if it's later in your life as well. But I think especially if you're in that part of your life, The Hero with a Thousand Faces is a wonderful read. Then there's a little bonus book that I like to mention, which is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Now, some financial sensibility is always a good thing to have, and if you want to build a sort of a financially secure life, then it is necessary to have some idea about what constitutes a sensible investment and what really is the money market. I think this is a great book to learn about that. And so that's just a quick mention. So there you have it. Those are the 5 books that I'd recommend, plus a little bonus book, to anyone that is not yet 25 years old, to be able to really set the path straight for the rest of their lives, sort of stepping into their professional lives where you will really have autonomy to take the choices that you want in your life. Then I think these 5 books can be a good guideposts in navigating life and getting to where you would like to be. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know which book you would recommend down below, and have a wonderful day.